Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Sandman here. Today's video is going to be a quick one where I show you a few frame traps and setups for Lars. Now Lars is one of my favorite characters to play in Tekken 8, and hopefully in this video I can teach you a few things you don't know about the character. So let's get into it. Alright, so first up is the most common frame trap you see utilized by pretty much every Lars player, and that's the one utilizing his Dynamic Entry 3. Now this move is a homing heat engager that is +5 on block. Yes, now this is really good. And what makes this really good is if you do Dynamic Entry 3 into Lars' Silent Entry 1, it's uninterruptible, which means if your opponent presses any button whatsoever, they will get hit by it, and that looks like this. As you see there, Harangue tried to jab me in between my Dynamic Entry 3 and Silent Entry 1, and he got hit, which transitions into my heat engager. Now, once you condition your opponent to block the Silent Entry 1, you can start mixing it up with Lars' Silent Entry 2, which is a low. And the good thing about this low is if your opponent's smashing there, it's a counter hit launcher, right? And this goes into a full combo with full damage. Now also, if you want to be a little bit more safe and not use the low, Silent Entry also goes into moves like this mid launcher, but you got to be careful using that because as you see it is -14 on block, and your opponent can punish you for it if they do block it. You can also go into Silent Entry 3+4, or he has a Power Crush out of it, Silent Entry 4. Or you can go into Silent Entry 1+2, which is the back fist. Now all of these moves pretty much beat out just about whatever your opponent does. So if you do like Dynamic Entry 3 into Silent Entry 1, he gets hit. If you do 3+4, he gets hit. If you do 3, he gets hit. And if you do Power Crush, obviously it eats up his attack. So yeah, it's really good move to use if you're a Lars player. Arguably his most important tool in Tekken 8 right now. Alright, so next up we have another super important frame trap for all Lars players to know and use, and that's the frame trap off of his down back 4. Now down back 4 on hit leaves you +5, right? Now what this does is it sets up a frame trap for his full crouch down forward too. And basically, no matter what your opponent presses, unless they block of course, they will get counter hit launched by his full crouch down forward too. And as you see here, I have Harangue set to do his crouch jab, which is comes out in 10 frames. It's the fastest move he can do in this situation. And even so, if I do the frame trap, boom, you see we get a trade, but we get a full combo from this, right? So this is a really good frame trap to use because as you see, no matter what your opponent does, worst case scenario, you trade with a down jab and you still get a combo follow up afterwards. Now for this, once you make your opponent respect the full crouch down forward too, you can start mixing it up with things like Lars' full crouch down 1+2, his low option. Or if you know they're going to block, you can pretty much just do whatever you want to do after you land the sweep, right? But you do want to be careful because this sweep is, I believe it's -20 something on block, so every character in the game can launch punish you for this. So it's not something you want to throw out super often. But yes, it is really good to use, especially in low ranks. If you're trying to get out of low ranks with Lars, this, people get hit by this all day because people just don't want to block, right? So yeah, this is a really good frame trap to know if you're a Lars player as well. Alright, moving on. Next up we have a setup off of Lars' counter hit back 4. Now, this is one of Lars' best moves as well. And as you see there, I have Harangue set to do a get up kick as he wakes up off the ground. Now if you notice your opponent likes to do a lot of get up kicks and you find yourself landing the counter hit back 4, apologies. If you do Lars' Arc Blast directly after you recover from the animation of his back 4 on counter hit, if your opponent does a get up kick, they will get counter hit and launch for this basically, and that looks like this. Oops, missed the combo there. But yes, as you see, Harangue woke up with a kick. I did my Arc Blast, and there he gets launched for that. And this also works off of wake up mid kicks as well, not just the lows. There, we do Arc Blast, and then he gets counter launch. So this is a really good setup to use if your opponent is constantly mashing get up kicks on you and not respecting you, right? Alright, last but not least, we have a setup involving Lars's dynamic entry 3+4 stomp, right? Now this is a really specific setup. It's not something you're going to be able to see a lot or do a lot because it requires your opponent to have their back towards the wall, and not only for you to land the stomp, but it has to be a counter hit, right? Which looks like this. Right, so after the stomp, you can transition into silent entry, which leaves you plus 12. Now, what else is plus 12? Lars is silent entry 1, right? It's heat engager. Now, if you land this after the counter hit stomp, it combos and leaves you in heat, and you're able to get a wall combo after that, and that looks like this. Right, you're able to get a full combo after that. Now, while this isn't something you're going to be able to do a lot, it is really cool, and when it does work, you're able to do some pretty cool stuff off that. Also, if you have like a wall break behind you, you're able to do some even cooler combos utilizing the heat dash after that. And yeah, you're able to do some really cool stuff with that. Alright guys, that is going to be it for today's video. Like I said, this was a shorter one, but I hope I was able to help you learn some things about Lars that you didn't really know in terms of some of his Oki and setups. And let me know down in the comment section below if you have any more setups for Lars players that I didn't go over in this video. And yeah, that is going to be it. See you guys next time. Later.